What's up, guys? It's TJ from Team Guyanese Gamer, and we're at YCS Niagara, Day 2 Bubble, and we're here with
Steven.
Steven, what'd you play?
I played Thunder Dragon Invoked.
All right, how'd you like it?
I think it was really good. I think it was definitely a different hybrid than most people were playing with either Pure or Dinos. But I think the Invoked engine adds a lot of flexibility, so it's good, just more generic.
All right, let's go
matchups.
right into it.
So 3 Alistar, obviously. I think one of the main problems with regular Thunder Dragons is the normal summons just suck. It's like Solar's really good, but you're only playing 3 copies of that. And Alistar just means that you're always getting the invocation, you're always having a second engine going, and as we've seen from other decks, 2 engines are better than 1. 3 of the regular Thunder Dragons, this card's +1, and when you're playing Invoked, the +1s are always good. Yep. They're fusion targets, the discard for Mechaba. They're also, because the Alistar link isn't a plus itself, I'll just discard one of the Thunder Dragons off the Alistar link, and then if there's an invocation, that's essentially just a plus, so another search for invocation. And obviously lights are really good. 3 Roar. You don't really want to draw this unless you have Allure, but then if you do, then you just go off. The main combo is either Alistar and Goldstark, or Allure and this and then the Alistar. And like even if you draw this and you're not going off with it right away, then you can still just like use it for discard fodder, and if it's getting in the grave, then you'll eventually be able to go off with it.
Awesome.
Only 2 dark. Roar goes off if you have Allure. This card just helps you kind of thin out your hand, search for what you need, but it's not as explosive, so that's why I only played 2. You're not making Titan much, and you're not triggering its effect too much, so I think 2 is fine. You don't really need to draw it that much. 1 bird. This one's actually pretty good. I'd almost consider playing 2, but there's just no room. I don't play Matrix at all. I don't think you should ever want to null summon anything that's not an Alistar.
For sure.
Because it just doesn't get you anywhere. 1 Kaiju because it's searchable from Thunder Dragon Fusion. Really good against Strikers, obviously. And then the only hand traps I played were 3 Ash, 3 Impermanence. Obviously, play against Gookie or something that just pushes through that. It's an issue. But the 6 go first. So, like, I kind of have the same mentality as them. If I go first and I make my board, I should just win.
Yeah.
And then, if not, then these are just kind of generic things. The main thing I chose these hand traps because they're good against Geist, good against the Thunder Dragon matchups, which are also pretty bad. So, I tune more towards that than just trying to play 15 hand traps to beat Gookie.
For sure. And you like that ratio?
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't play any like heavy combo decks, so I mean, if you play more than me, you want more hand traps, but I think that's fine in the main. They're the most generic ones, I think.
For sure.
3 Meltdown, Terraformings, just 2 invocations. You don't play Desires, so 2's fine.
Yep.
It's really good when anytime you know the Alistar, which is what you want to do, bait out the hand traps, so they impermanence it or they ash it and you have this already. So that's nice. 2 Thunder Dragon Fusions. A lot of the builds I'm looking at online, we're playing 1. But you choose really good. If you have the Thunder Dragon engine going, then you can resolve 1, and the next one you can resolve another because you're always getting the searches going off. But even if you just hard draw these and no Thunder Dragons, you still have Twins, you still have Mechaba, you still have so many ways of discarding this, and you just discard, and then this gets you to another engine. So even though it seems kind of bricky, the format's slow enough where if I'm just ending with a subpar board, and I'm discarding this and getting it to the grave, I can just push for game next turn.
Right.
You don't always need to make like this unbreakable board and win first turn. You can have the grind game, which is what Invoke's really good for. 3 Instant Fusion. Combo Extender, because you can summon the 1 Thunder guy, as well as 1000 Eyes Restrict, which gets over like anything problematic, Striker or Thunder Dragons. 3 Tyrann, expecting a lot of back row heavy decks. I mean, if you expect otherwise, you can cut down, but really good. Also, discard fodder is really nice. 3 Allure. This card's really good. This and Roar is basically +1, and you can just go full combo then. But also, the thing with this is Alistar's also dark. So worst case scenario, you have multiple copies of Alistar, you just lure that away. There were a few cases where I think I wasn't playing enough darks, and I kind of got worried using the Allure, but I mean, you can always bump Thunder Dragon Dark up to 3 if you feel that worried, but I think it's fine like this. And there's games even where like I'll open the Allure, I'm not going to use it. I just hold it, because I know I'm getting Thunder Dragon Fusion in the grave somehow. And I can just search next turn and then use the Allure then. So you don't always have to just rush and make a giant board. And then 3 Goldstarks for
The best combo.
Yeah, obviously the best combo. There was a game where I was playing against Thunder Dragons. He had Colossus up on the board, and I Goldstark for an invocation, and it resolved, and I added it 2 turns later and won like that. So the second effect is relevant.
Awesome. 40 cards?
Yes, 40 cards in the main. I don't want to play anymore just because you always want to see an Alistar, and you don't want to play too much of the other, like just tech cards, because then you're not seeing your engine enough.
Right.
And you really want to see both engines. That's when the deck really shines. 2 Colossus, you don't need to go into 3 much, and you can recycle things. Play 2 Titan. Funny enough, you don't actually use the effect too much. Sometimes it's like you'll go for game shot and you can summon in like discard the Thunder Dragons and pop stuff. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll make the Colossus, and I'll just summon the Titan banishing like whatever from my hand or Aurora. They'll give me another summon, and I'll just link away the Titan for Alistair Link, because Alistair Link is just getting you 2-3 fusions.
Right.
And again, it sounds kind of silly, but you're not ever negging making these things. It's just part of, if you see the Thunder Dragon engine, you're making it, and then just you have another monster to look away for Alistair Link, and that's putting in so much damage. So the Rogue engine, one Purge Trio just for game shot, one Plaga. This card's really good. So I haven't seen really any builds play this ever with Invoke. What it does is only one monster can attack each turn for players, and each player can only activate one monster effect per turn. If it's negated, they still can't use it. So if you're playing against like Thunder Dragons, Gookie, any of these hard combo decks where like they can push to a Mechaba, I just make this first turn and I just pass. Like it's just hilarious watching BA play against this because they're not going anywhere. It's a really underrated card. 3 Mechaba came up a lot where I'd go into all 3. Best one on the deck. You maintain hand bench pretty well with this deck. So one restrict to get over problematic monsters. Main thing is Colossus. One this guy. Combo extender because it's Wind Thunder, so you can use it to make the Alistair Link if you need to, or it's just a Thunder for Colossus.
Busted.
And then links, one Alistair Madness, really good. Obviously, you can push for a lot of damage with this. A lot of times, my end board will be the Alistair Link, Colossus, and Mecha. So when I fusion summon the second one, I'll add an invocation to my hand. I just won't use it.
Oh. Okay.
Because if I'm playing against slow decks, so Strikers, Googie, or not Googie, Strikers, Altergeist, or Thunder Dragons even, I already have the invocation next turn, so when I know I'm Alistair and they stop it, I still do my full play.
Right.
And you don't always need to make the big boards. You're playing a slow game, and that works completely fine. One of this thing just because it's it's a light, and B, you're not always gonna make this because of the requirements. One decode pushes your damage really well. Also, there's some boards where you'll end with decode double Colossus and Mechaba, which is generally just game.
Wow.
And then one Phoenix, I'm kind of iffy on this. This should in theory be Unicorn because you don't have enough outs to this if you're playing against it, but you also need a fire target, and there's not many fire targets in this deck, so it helps making for a good trio. So I might switch it out for Unicorn later. We'll see how the format develops.
For sure. And you liked your extra deck? You wouldn't change anything?
The extra, there's a few cards I'm kind of questioning. This card maybe sub out for a Raging just because it has more versatility, or maybe this card for a Raging.
For sure.
Just because this and Raging have similar effects. But the main core, the main fusion ratios of the Mechebas and the Thunder Dragons, I'm fine with. Just kind of tech cards I'm thinking about changing a little bit. And the Unicorn.
Awesome. And you want to show the side?
Yeah, I'll show the side as well.
Okay.
So 3 Gammas. Trickstars I decided in against. I don't think hand traps are that good against Sky Strikers either. So I'll just generally side these in and try playing through the hand traps and gaming them.
Right.
Also, it's the best hand trap against any hard combo decks like Gookie.
Right.
Do this thing. This card's okay. It's really good against Geist, but I think it's pretty subpar against Thunder Dragon, so maybe I'll cut it down. But it's alright for today. There is some cool things where like you can, if you have Meltdown up and you summon this guy, then if you fuse you through instant fusion or whatever, you can just put this guy's effect on chain as soon as you summon, and then because of Meltdown, they can't respond.
Wow.
So they just can't pop at all. Or even if they like you go pop a Kagari, and then you summon, and then Ray won't be able to activate because they fusion summon,
Yeah.
so it won't be able to revive itself. So there's a lot of quite cool interactions with Meltdown.
Wow.
2 call. Decent. Mind Control really just goes to 3. It's just a really good card, especially against Thunder Dragons.
Very good card.
3 reboot. You can game people pretty quickly, and Altergeist, so or any other trap decks. And 2 Scolding. I originally had Edenleys in the side, but my entire side deck other than this is to go second.
Yep.
So I just need. I didn't have enough cards to take all the names, so like I'll play some go first cards and just put the Scoldings in. It's really good. Stops evenly. Stop. I dropped it on an Orbital Highlander. Just generically good card.
And so, how did you like your deck this weekend?
I think it was really good. I think that you get a lot more subpar hands. Like you don't always just open insane. But again, like the format's really slow right now. If you're playing against Thunder Dragons or playing against Sky Striker, Altergeist, Trickstars, anything like that, like there's games where I'll just normal Alistair and pass, and they'll push the makeup board, and I can just kill them next turn. So you're not gonna. This isn't a deck where every turn you're gonna make a massive board turn 1. It's just about the Alistair engine with Thunder Dragons is really flexible, and even if you're behind, if you're ending with Mechaba Colossus, that's enough to kind of just turn the duel by itself. Even if you're doing that turn 2, turn 3, that's enough to just win. So it's definitely not explosive, but I think that's just much more versatile.
For sure. Do you want to showcase the Gold Sark Alistair combo?
Okay, sure.
So all you need is these 2 cards. That's
yes.
it. All right.
So there's a lot of other extensions you can add. But these ones are, will you get you far enough. So you know Alistair, Cersei, Invocation, Gold Circ. So you banish the Roar, summon the Dark.
Yep.
Unfortunately, these are the same attribute, so you can't go into the Alistair link.
Okay.
So you just go for this guy instead.
The generic 2?
Yep, just generic 2. It's also light,
nice.
which helps for Mechaba later on. Dark Effect. So you add the one Hawk.
Discard that one.
Yeah. Summon
Special
back.
without.
Either him or him, depending on what you have.
Right.
Since you just got a card, you can make the Colossus. And then you Invocation, banish the Hawk and the Alistair. And summon the Mechaba. If you're playing against, if you know what you're playing against, you can, instead of going Mechaba, you can make the Caligula, which was like better against those hard combo decks that can push through Mechaba.
Right.
And then you're adding the Alistair back. And this is kind of the main thing where I'm not losing hand advantage doing this.
Right.
As this is a 2-card combo, but I still have Alistair for next turn.
Yep.
So even if they completely clear this board, I still can do the exact same thing next turn.
And you have 3 cards in hand.
Yes, I have 3 cards and the Alistair. Yeah.
Yep.
And if you have other extenders, so you have Instant Fusion, or if you have another Invocation or ways of getting it, if you hard draw this, Thunder Dragon Fusion, Thunder Dragons, like there's a lot of 3 or 4 card combos where what will happen is like you'll make this board and then you'll have another Invocation in hand, and then you'll link it away, send the decode in the other zone. So this one's stuck over here.
Yep.
Invocation, summon another Mechaba. And then if you had another extender, Thunder Dragon Fusion, Instant Fusion. Let's say I just add the Instant Fusion. Summon this guy, I use the Thunder effect.
Make double Colossus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Doesn't come up that much, but when you do, you just win. And like, Sky Strikers I find can push through one Thunder Dragon Colossus.
Right.
But like, the issue is that they don't clear your board, they just do their stuff. If they clear your board, they lose their advantage. And you just make the same board next turn because your grave's loaded, you're banishing, you have the Alistair. Or they just lose to this. And like, not every hand's gonna be like this, but you play in the grind games, and this deck pushes to so much damage as well because of you can always search out Invocation with the
bunch of
Alistair
big
link.
monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for the profile, and we'll hope to see you at upcoming events.
Thanks.